activism lens, they've had some great points, and they help sharpen me as I continue my journey as a city leader. So I'm not opposed to sitting down and listening to them and having conversations. So coming together means, yeah, the people have designated me as the one to be the liaison between our community and downtown. But I want to hear what you have to say, and we have to have an open mind, open heart. I think some of these people have not, observed sport or spectate sports or participated in sports, because at the end of the game, you shake hands and then you realize that you've been able to be blessed by that person's competition, that person's conversation. That's why debates are great, because it brings out what's important to people. So I'm hopeful that we'll continue to merge thought as elections are decided, back to the Black Agenda conversation, I really hope that those that are continue to fuel that conversation, I hope that they have those meetings on a regular basis, because that's how we are going to iron the differences out, and make sure that everyone that is in attendance at those meetings know that they are a part of the agenda, because this is for all of us, so we don't want to, have anyone try to be elevated. We just have to come to an agreement, and that's not going to come with someone in a silo trying to figure out, what's going on here in their situation with their concerns, but we come collectively together. So coming together, Brother Muhammad, I'm sorry to say, but it just means coming together, and it means us being in the same room at the same time, sharing our concerns and our thoughts, and then we have that one designated leader that takes those concerns to our city.
That's good, Councilor Jackson. Before I pivot to my next question,
I concur with everything he said. Having a forum or some type of workshop or open community session, and choosing who that leader is and agreeing that's who we're going to have as our leaders, our designated leader. Everybody at some point, you have to learn when to lead and when to follow. And, there's going to be winners and losers in everything in life. And so at some point that transitions, if it happens, and just continue to be in the fight for the community, if that's the true, real reason why folks are running, and continue to fight together and continue to try to bridge the community and fight what's best for the community.
Beautiful. Beautiful.
Yeah. I just to
I'm gonna pivot to another question. You want to go ahead?
Yeah, no, just to echo how I've seen that in play actually is with my opponents earlier this year. We've partnered on some things, and we'll continue to partner, because we never considered each other enemies, and I think that a lot of us go into these things as
looking
if
at
we're
somebody's
enemies.
enemy.
And I've seen situations where people that are not in the same camp that I'm in refuse to shake my hand, and I thought, man, aren't you a black man? Aren't you in the same game that I'm in? Are we trying to accomplish the same thing? And that bothered me to no end. But I'm proud to say that those people that I was that were opponents of mine as I moved through this journey early on, we've actually partnered together, and their concerns become my concerns, because I hear them loud and clear.
So we only have time for one more question, and it's not on here. I'm going to pivot and take this conversation in a different direction. So Roland Martin was just here, and they just did a whole forum on, it was supposed to be, I think it was about the state of Black America, but the key focus was economics. And so as you look at your districts, as we look at the city, a lot of crime that we're seeing, these are all symptoms of the bigger issue of economic empowerment. So how would you, the Far East Side, we see so much leave that area, the Kroger, it's a food desert. There's no shopping, nowhere to go just to go shop or whatever. So even with your district, Councilor Jackson, it's just from an economic empowerment standpoint, what do you see or what do you envision for your district to bring to empower that community economically?
I'll start off. Well, I did 3 proposals. I authored 3 proposals that spun around Oak Tree Apartments. One to authorize the city to purchase the apartments, the second one to demo the apartments, and the third one's to do redevelopment from 38th and Post down to 42nd and Post. I think that spurs of redevelopment where community will have input. We're going to have community forums to get input what they want there, to get developers to come out and to see what will actually work and be tangible there. I think will spark other development on the far east side and in our districts, and I think it'll even span over to Keith Council Graves district. Also leading into, we got abandoned school building, John Marshall, that's at 38th and Midhofer, and then some other. I have a lot of brownfield. Brownfield is field that's never been developed before, and so we could get some of that development done. I'm probably one of the few council districts that does not have a traditional grocery store, sit-down family-style restaurant, a hotel, or a bank. I have room for development. Yeah,
key for economic.
And so I've been trying to work with the mayor's office, so that part of that Black agenda will help push that. That redevelopment proposal 353 will help with that. As well, and it'll do spinoffs for other council districts as well. So I think economic development is key, but we have to have legislation, and proposals or law. They're legislations. We got one on the books for redevelopment. You get post road redevelopment, that's just like a disease. I hate to say it, it's going to just manifest, it's going to spread itself. So and once we continue with the crime, when you get redevelopment going in, crime is already going to start to reduce itself, and I'll tell you why. When you look at Carmel, sometimes it looks too pretty, even drop trash down. Oh, I ain't going to litter here. That street too pretty. Come on, have you thought about it?
That's true.
Yeah,
that's
right.
Because people have pride.
They got pride in it. When we start doing that redevelopment, it look good. The streets look good. The strip malls look good, or whatever's there. And I'm thinking about 42nd and Post. I don't know. We'll put at 38th and Post because that's Keith Council Graves district. But I can envision that on my district, 42nd and Post, I can envision multi-mixed use. I've talked to residents and stakeholders. I can envision some type of clinic or one of those neighborhood hospitals. I can envision something for the seniors, youth opportunities, something building or activities for the youth, a green space, multi-use things. Because of the money we use to purchase it and demo it, I can tell you there's certain things that cannot go there. That's just law. That's the code. There's state code. There's certain things that cannot go there. So for y'all, the investors that don't got on in that think y'all gonna slide in and put a strip what's some things? Strip club. Y'all think y'all put a strip club? Keep on going. Y'all think y'all gonna ride in and put some other stuff in? Keep going. It ain't going. You can keep on going. You can wait till wait is over. It ain't going there. But it's stay cold. That ain't what I'm saying. It's stay cold. So I think that once we do continue and he gets on see, I get somebody on the council that can work with me, I'm one vote. And when people that's running realize they one vote, but if you get on there and get a team that can roll with you, it's good to have, instead of 2 wheels, a car got 4.
Right.
So if Keith get on there and I get reelected, we got 4 wheels. Yeah. And we can get on there and make some legislation. We can make laws on the books. Absolutely. And that's the things I've been doing. I've been putting laws on the book. Y'all don't even probably know about that redevelopment law. But when it hit like that card, bam! When y'all see that stuff being done,
that's what I mean when I say it's been a pleasure working next to her through these last 5 months. But to answer your question, I was blessed to have built business relationships in our city. So what I did within the first month of being a member of the council is I convened a meeting that, in essence, was a $20 million pitch to redevelop the Devington Plaza Strip Mall, 46 in Arlington. In that meeting were, in essence, a think tank of community developers. It was LISC, it was INHP, it was council president, it was Indy Chamber. It was examples of success in that redevelopment lane. So these people were in a closed invite meeting, were present, and what we did was we came away with some particular options to kickstart that redevelopment. And that's what I promised my constituents that I would bring, is my business relationships to Indy Far East Side. And within the first month of being a member of the council, I've done that, and I plan to continue to do that because that is what it takes. So, but that's outside of creating the laws that she is speaking of. That is how you redirect what our city is going to already appropriate to our area. So that's what we're trying to accomplish as well. So I was able to do it just because I've got existing business relationships, but I do plan to learn more and continue to work next to her as we continue to navigate through the laws to move those assets and those appropriations to our area.
With those, can I say something real quick?
Yeah, real quick.
And then tax abatement. So what the other people do, they create tax incentives, for their area. So they have tax abatements. I have one in mind. I think Celadon gets a tax abatement. But TIFs or other things. So we want to do things that help also bring
the
businesses into the areas. I just want to say that
you make your district an attractive destination for new business and continue to maintain those businesses that are there. So those are some of the No. I mean,
that Keith Washington voice.
No, this is that concerned black man voice. So I hope people understand that that's all I'm here to do is just be a concerned black man.
So what would you, with these proposals, what would you say to the common man and woman to get involved? Because you think about Devington Plaza, you think about 46 and not 46, but Arlington and 38th Street. Mm-hmm. Devington Plaza has been, that area right where Value City used to be. I'm talking about years. There's been nothing there.
Yeah.
And so, again, we talked about politics and pipeline. Or I'm sorry, not pipeline, but
prison pipeline.
Well, we talked about that too. But politics and this pipe dream.
Oh, okay.
How do you make this resonate with the common man and woman that's been living in these neighborhoods for years, been seeing politicians talking about these proposals, and nothing's happened?
Yeah.
I can answer that because I'm living witness testimony on it. Come to the community hearings, because community meetings. What happens at those community meetings is we collectively talk to members and community residents and stakeholders to see what they want and what could happen. We take that and transform it into a legal law through we have attorneys. The mayor has attorneys, the council has an attorney, and then there are city codes, state codes, what could work, what can't work, and we turn it into a law. There has to be at least one counselor that owns that law and introduces it for law. Then it goes into a hearing. Show up, residents and stakeholders, to those hearings. Yeah. That's a hearing. So we like to refer to them. You hear them as meetings. They are hearings. They can stay at that level, or they can advance to the full council. If they advance to the full council, that means they got out of hearing, and the full council can vote it up, or they can vote it down. And if they vote it up, that means if it makes it out of full council, if they get enough votes, the majority of votes, that means that law, that proposal becomes a law. And that's how it works. So 2 ways you can write, or 3 ways. You can write letters if you can't show. You can email. And you can show up to the community forums, and you can come to those hearings to testify.
And realistically, this can happen.
Absolutely. The other thing that I think here in Councilor Jackson is we can't take no. We can't accept no. We can't accept what we've seen so far. We have to continue to be the squeaky wheel. We have to continue to demand. And we're on the forefront of that, and I pray that we're all reelected and we're moving forward with our agendas that we have for our particular areas of this city. We've gained, we've gained enough status within our body, within our council, that we can partner with people that move that understand that we're very passionate about our part of town. So they will help us move those agendas. So like she said, if it makes it out of committee, then it's going to full council. If we're reelected, then perhaps those things will happen. So the things that we have, that we've listened to our people, that they want, we take them there, we can get them passed. We don't need to look at starting this thing all over with someone new who may not have any idea of what it takes to get that thing. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. It's just a long time to get things moved through the process.
Well, we have come to I have extra time allotted, but I want to be, considerate of you guys' time, so I'm not going to keep y'all. But, man, I feel like we just scratched the surface. We haven't even gotten into the meat of, the issues that you guys are going to be tackling once you get in. Can we at least answer that one last question before I let you go? So the question was, what are 3 major issues you plan to address during your time?
You want me to start? Mm-hmm. I got a lot. Continue infrastructure. I've done over $24 million in my district in 4 years. I've been on council 5 years, was August. But I say 4 because the first year you need to learn and understand what it is you're doing. So just learning the process. German church is a big one for me. So a lot of residents have been asking that we repay German church plus some residential areas. criminal justice reform. That was huge. You all heard about that one. Seeing what our part is as council people to address criminal justice reform. They're supposed to
Does that include, I decided to say this, I said this on the last show, hiring more cops is not
No.
working.
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.